and then we go from there. So I just invited Jack. So
Hey guys,
there he
how you
is.
doing?
There he is. There's the guy, Jack. So, all right. Before we touch bases, so I normally do this at my job. We do like a community meeting. We normally just we ask how we feeling, and then we go about it from there. So Jack, tell the people how you feeling today. What's going on with you?
I'm doing good, everyone. Nice evening over here in Derbyshire where I'm at. It's just a nice evening, very nice evening.
Got you. Any goals you got for the rest of the night out there in your run?
Um, Not really, to be honest. Just getting by, shall we say? Just like you, my friend.
Got you. All right. All right. When as for me, I am feeling pretty content. I went live earlier today. Did some Nickelodeon All Star Brawl. Taking some time off, some self care days off of my actual job. So I'm just gonna be here a little later on today. I'm gonna go to the gym with my girl. We're gonna work out some. I feel like that's good working out when you got some stuff you're dealing with mentally. Working off stuff like that. So
Mm,
yeah. So that's me. And thanks, Jack, for being my first guest on this thing
no
as I get
problem.
back into the smooth talk thing. So, Jack, you've seen the old smooth talk from back before, right? When I did it before a while ago.
Yeah, I
You
have.
remember when?
Yeah, I have. You discussed the wide range of topics. I'm trying to remember what one of them was now. Like we're discussing mental health tonight. That's our
Hmm.
topic for tonight. Like you discussed various other topics, probably including mental health in your previous ones. Like you're going to discuss mental health with me, which is a big thing for me. Because same for you, because I suck because I'm diagnosed with autism, which is a disability. Um, let's say not severely autistic. I'm mildly autistic, which is how do I say? I just feel that difference from other people, but in reality, I'm not. I'm just the same as all of you are.
Hmm.
Like,
And
yeah,
and to give context with Jack, as I said before at the beginning of the video, Jack has since the beginning, like when I had like 40, 50 subscribers. I mean, Jack has been really, really supporting myself personally as a person and also my brand. So Jack, for like, hopefully when the whole COVID thing like gets a little better, we can
mm,
actually meet in person because me and Jack been talking about that before too. So Jack has shown me a lot of love. So I just want to just give a shout out to Jack. Jack is my brother from the UK. He shows a lot of support. So um, going back into this mental health thing. So last month was Mental Health Awareness Month, and
yeah,
I did on an old podcast. I did talk about mental health, but not into in depth like I wanted to in a sense. But if you guys follow me personally, I say all the time at my job. I suffer from depression, some anxiety. Like my mental health was pretty bad too. Um, it's just stuff like that. So Jack has also seen when I be posting stuff, he actually checks in on me, like, hey, so check and see how are you,
mm.
and we have conversations about that too. But Jack, what makes you open to talk about your mental health? Because now, I mean, mental health is getting known now, but not a lot of people like to open up about it. So what made you
Oh,
openly want to talk about it?
well, the only reason why I want to openly talk about it is because there's a lot of people in this world that are suffering with depression, me and you included. You suffer,
Right.
severely from it, which I try to help you with. I suffer mildly from it, but that's part of my autism diagnosis. But
Hmm.
what worries me is all these people that, I have a friend of mine who works at my workplace who, always criticizes herself, saying that she just wants to end things once and for all. But what people don't understand is the hurts they give to others. Like my friend, she
Hmm.
has two children, very young, and what upsets me the most about that is that if something were to happen to that mother and like permanently gone, shall we say, they will never have the chance to relish the opportunity, that spend the, learn with my childhood from my parents. That's what I was meant to say. And it hurts really, you know,
Hmm.
like you need to, be confident, be confident with yourself, be confident for your kids. And it's just, it's like I said, there's loads of people, especially here in this country and in your country as well, Keem, that suffers with depression, some of them seriously. And it just, it really, really bothers me that. Like, it just hurts, it hurts.
Yeah, living with mental health disabled is not something, it's not easy to do. They
No.
like to, I know for me, when I was open to my peoples about mental health, before, as a man, they look at mental health like, you ain't got no mental health problems, you all right, like suck it up. But as time went on, I went to therapy. I remember I had a therapy session where I told my immediate family, listen, like, this is what I'm diagnosed with this, that, and the third. I think when that happened, they was like, oh, like, you really going through stuff. I'm like, yeah, it's not like something no one chooses to have mental health issues, it's just something that happens, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Like trauma that goes on in your life or something happened to you that traumatizes you, it's just something that happens in the world we live in now. It's just, I'm just glad we have platforms we can start talking about stuff like this, because this is something, because I know a lot of people that have mental health illness. I know people that committed suicide. I know a lot of stuff. It's just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot. So it's just, something that I feel like needs to be talked about more.
And it needs to be addressed as well, to be honest, because there's about a percentage of people who die every year from depression alone. It's probably like one of the highest amounts.
A lot of guys commit suicide higher than women too. Not to make this sexist, but a lot of men, because the men, we got a lot on our shoulders. We got to be a provider. We got to work. A lot of stuff. If we, say you work a job, you hate the job, not getting paid good money, that can trigger your mental health too, because you feel like less of a man. Well, how my father raised me was that you got to work. Nothing's gonna be handed to you. Like, my father raised me to be a leader. So in my mind, before I got to this job, I was getting paid shit money. I feel like less of a man. I'm like, damn, I'm not even getting paid that much money. I feel like shit. I don't think I should be here.
Definitely.
So I feel like all that plays a factor too. I'm going to move because I'm gonna stand up some because my back's starting to hurt. But I'm still here. But yeah, So it's something that it has to be talked about more, because a lot of people. I mean, I feel like they're talking about it, but at the same time, it's just something that it's like gotta have people be more comfortable talking about it.
Honestly, I feel comfortable talking about this because lucky for me is I have all my friends on the some of them are possibly watching. I have you supporting me here with my depression, like I'm supporting you. I always, people need to check up on each other, if you know what I mean, because when that certain person doesn't check up on you, that can lead to a downward spiral towards deep depression, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Even your closest relatives, for example, that's a major factor towards, keeping yourself sane and keeping yourself, stable and confident in yourself. But you mentioned work there, Kimi, and earning money. Always, whatever job you're in, whatever job, you're earning, until you can find something that's better, stick with it. Because when you're not in a job, I was in this once, for like a year and a half when I moved down here. I had no job. I had no money. I had nothing. And that was just getting to the point, where like, why am I here now? What do I have to live for? But what my mother taught me was, because she has to have a word with me that day. She told me, you have to have confidence and faith in yourself. And
facts, yeah.
Yeah, and she said, you can't get the rewards if you don't work for it. So what I did was, regarding my job searching, because that was one major thing that was leading to my my sadness and everything, and that led to my depression. I looked online, I applied everywhere. I've, handed in my, records to everyone. And loads of people, found me, and they phoned me up and said, can you come for an interview? And luckily enough, everyone wanted to hire me, so I had to choose one place out of all these places.
That's a
And
good feeling. You like it's always good to have choices, whether it's with employment or anything. So like
mm,
you have the balls in your court. It's like, all right, well, it's up to me. What if I want to do? Whether I don't feel like I got to make this choice. It's going to hinder me. If I make this choice, regardless, it's going to better me. So you know what I'm saying? So that's
yeah,
always good to have that.
and that's when I made that choice to become a team leader at my work. You know, that pays good money, that gives me good holidays, and gives me good rewards.
Yeah.
But it's like I said to you, you came into everyone else. You've got to work for it if you want the rewards, if you know what
It's
I
true.
mean. But
Very
there's
true.
another thing I want to touch about regarding mental health is the corona pandemic in all the whole world right now. Is, you know, when we were in lockdown, all the world's countries were in lockdown. You couldn't socialise with anyone face to face, in person. You couldn't go out for a meal. You couldn't go. You couldn't even go to the park, like a theme park, to have fun in, or a nightclub even. Like, the pandemic has really caused, you know, an impact on mental health and depression as well.
So
And
talking about the pandemic, so how was it out there for you in the UK? Like the
so
lockdown, how was that like?
the United Kingdom, well, let's just say this: the government over here implemented strict coronavirus restrictions here, like something called the Rule of Six, where only six people can meet at a certain time. All the restaurants, the cafes, the bars, nightclubs were all shut. All the theme parks were shut. All the museums, cinemas, everything was closed. The only thing that was open were the supermarkets and the airports. And you couldn't even fly out anywhere because they were just blockading our country from flying anywhere. But that's you know, when you're not socialising with anyone, when you're not going out to places with everyone, when you can't even go for a walk with someone, you know, it really, really, you know, it makes you go insane, if you know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Because I live in Philadelphia, over here in the United States. Certain states have it stricter. I know New York and San Francisco, like California, they got hit the hardest, so they was more stricter than a lot of other states around here. But in Philly, you know, everything was shut down. Like the night, you said nightclub, theme park, all that was no. You know, I think they even had the bridge shut down that connects us to Jersey, New Jersey. To Philly had that bridge closed because you know they wanted like less travel to different you know states and stuff. The only thing that was everything, like what you said, the only thing that was open was the supermarkets, the airports, and the doctors. Like we go to the doctors and the hospitals as well.
Yeah, so
So it was just like, and if you do go outside, you had to wear a mask, and you know, the mask thing was kind of something totally. They're gonna talk about this, guys, when the next generation of kids come in. They're gonna talk about the COVID because this is something like the country never got hit with something like this before ever. This is like the most severe I'm hearing on the news. So I'm looking forward to whenever I have kids and it's like they're going to teach my kids about this. I'm like, listen, I've been there. I know a lot of people in the world went through this. So what they telling you is not true, or you know, they might. I don't know, but I just feel like that's kind of cool that like we was a part of history in a lot of ways.
it's funny because you mentioned the news, and that's another factor that leads to, you know, severe depression, which we'll talk about in a minute. But regarding the pandemic, all these news outlets, everything, they've just been stirring it all up. And, you know, the way that connects to mental health, you know, the news is gives you all this bad information and it starts to panic, you know, it starts to panic everyone into this propaganda. Like, you know, you guys had, you know, the whole Donald Trump thing going on over there. And that's probably, you know, worried some people's minds a bit. We've had, what did we have? We had mainly the pandemic, really, to be honest. That's been worrying our minds a bit when it started. You know, it's just all these news headlines, all this propaganda stuff, all these celebrity, you know, activists, newsreaders, you know, they just want you to believe what they want you to believe.
And there's a thing, too, I'm learning more as I get older, especially within this year. There's a thing called media manipulation. And it's where even people with like normal people that has phone, they do it. It's like where they take something and they spin it, or they just do something crazy. You know, just like they feel like any attention is good attention. in my mind, I think that's kind of, I don't agree with that, because if that's the
No.
case, I would literally just speak a bunch of bullshit on, like, just talk about some insane stuff and just to get views. If I want views, I want to get views I want people to subscribe to me and watch my shit because they actually like what I'm saying, like what I'm doing, you know. Yeah,
Mm.
there's going to be people that's not going to really care for me. That's fine. That comes from territory, but I'm not going to sit there and just do something for views. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. I've done crazy stuff like I did the ice bucket challenge. I thought about doing the crate challenge, but a lot of people telling me don't do it. It's like, don't do the crate challenge. You're gonna get hurt, you know. But it was just like everything along those lines I would do. Anything outside of that, I'm not going to judge. I just think that's just weird. And as far as the Donald Trump thing, man, this whole USA was crazy. You know, as you guys watching, as I'm an African American male, and the whole police brutality that was going on, and you know, just a lot of political, like the whole country was divided. Like there was a lot of stuff going on in Philly where people was just marching and riots and stuff like that. I was like in the mix. I'm not gonna say I was actually doing it, but I was like I seen it and witnessed it. That can do stuff to your mental health. Like, yo, this is like some shit out of a video game. You got cops chasing people with the riot shields,
Yeah.
and they doing tear gas. I'm just like, what in the hell?
Honestly,
You know?
honestly, that's one thing that led to, me getting upset and everything was there was this one headline about, racism going on in both here in the UK and over there where you're at in the US, all these racist remarks going towards, people like yourself and everyone else, black people, everyone. And it just makes me think, we're all the same. Like, why? What? Why would we treat people differently then? Yeah.
I will say that it comes down to power. You know, since the beginning, since the America was discovered over here, the white people has been like in control of everything. So since you got the black people, you got the Asians, you got Hispanics, they feel like they want to keep like certain races and culture at a certain level. But seeing that they can't do that, that's when they be like, the whole racist thing. That's what I personally believe. But I know enough about history. No, I'm not gonna say that sound arrogant. I know a good chunk of history to be like, okay,
Mm.
I believe that's what it is. But there's a lot of stuff. I feel like racism will go on forever. Honestly, I feel like this is something that we can't, we can like mend it and keep it at a level, but we can't get rid of racism altogether. I can't see that happening personally.
No, it won't happen for another 1,000 years, my friend. Like, there'll always be this one cold-hearted person that lives here in this world. There'll always be. You can't erase that, unfortunately. But getting back to getting back to mental health, there's something else that I would like to touch on as well as the news outlets impacting it, the everyday life is the way you express yourself when you're depressed. Some people try to hide it behind false smiles, false smiles, rich clothing, rich furniture, rich is everything. But when you see down their heart is, the cracks in their heart, like yourself, for instance. And like I had cracks myself, when I didn't have a job. Like I just found myself going into a deep, dark hole every day. But
Yeah.
it's just, sometimes it can be incurable to cure someone's depression. Like there always has to be that main event where it cannot always happen to cure someone's, depression. Like depression, most of the times, depression cannot be cured.
Yeah, that's true.
And like yourself, for instance, like you struggle sometimes. I struggle sometimes, but it's just, how do I say it? You just need to keep plowing on. There's no end in sight. You just need to keep plowing on, do the hard work, and eventually you'll come to realise, how much hard work that person has done.
I will say I had a question I want to ask you while we streaming. So so talk about the whole autism thing if you can. When did you find out you was diagnosed with it? Like, how old was you, and how did that impact you once you knew you had
Well,
this?
my mother told me, when I was a baby that I was diagnosed with it, 14 weeks old, I believe. And what I lived through with it during my childhood years, until I was up to the age of 18, I struggled terribly with my emotions at school. Like, I would have to be placed, in certain class groups, disability class groups in my, nursery, primary school, high school years, and even college. To be honest, like during physical education as well, like PE, what we call it over here, but physical education. I would always have to be away from the other lads, because I would get very, in your words, competitive. If I lost something, I would get extremely angry. I would even break something. It's happened a few times that when I broke something in anger. But what else is also is, you're also more, you're more emotional to certain things. Like your feelings are very weak compared to like a normal person if you have autism. And here's me saying to all the other, like, there's mild, severe, and like really severe forms of autism. 3 of them. Like, thankfully, I only have it mild now. I was severe back in the day, but I had a friend of mine who was extremely severe. He could not do anything. He couldn't even talk. He couldn't even do his work at school. He couldn't even do his job correctly. And that's what holds him back, the disability. They can't even live a normal life. Like with me, I'm doing just fine at the moment because I learned from other people how to deal with things. And, excuse me, and I just copied other people's reactions. I copied other people's way of life, to make up my own way of life. And even my own mother told me, that everyone is different in their own way. Like, you can't just be the same as anyone else. We're all different. You're different, Keem. I'm different, myself. Everyone who's watching you can be different. We're not all the same, shall we say?
It's true. I'm trying to say, so I'm not too familiar with autism. Like, I know what it is, but I don't know like in depth of it, which is I should, because I'm in this kind of work. So if you can explain, like you say, someone and you say he can't do nothing. So what levels are there to autism?
Well, I don't really know the levels of it myself, but I do know the kind of variety of autism. Like, there's the mildly people who are autistic is like, like myself, I'm talking to you just fine. I can do things by myself. I can work, but I can work to the best of my ability. Then you have the people, who have severe autism more severely. And like I said, I had a friend of mine who struggled to do any work in school. Who always needs someone to help him. I had someone who had to help me when I was in school, and it just it's something that can't be cured. If you have it, you have it. You can't be cured. So those are like the main 2 like sort of autism forms you have there. The mildly ones like I have myself, and the severe ones that my friend also had.
Oh wow, okay. So thanks for sharing that with me, because I just was like, I always wanted to ask that, but one thing about me, I don't really want to ask questions that I feel like it's kind of like you shouldn't have to ask that. So if I feel like I shouldn't ask that question, I won't ask it, or I'll try to ask at the appropriate time.
Yeah, it depends how some people react. You see, like with me, I'll gladly answer anyone. Who has questions about autism, I'll gladly answer them. But like my friend, for instance, he wouldn't even know what it is, even though he has it.
Yeah. Well, one thing, Jack, I'm gonna like send you positive vibes, and basically you're very open about this. Like, sometimes, or a lot of times with people, when they have like a disability, they don't want to talk about it. They feel, exposed. But for you, you're very open. You know what it is. You're dealing with it. So that's not easy to do. I just want to take the time to acknowledge that that's hard work. You're doing the work. So just all the people that have autism that might be watching or just has it, my condolences are with you. You can get through it. Jack can get through it. I'm sure a lot of you guys can get through it too. It's different stages, but You just like as you say, Jack, just put the work in.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
one thing about.
All you have to do is just put the work in and just, be confident in what you do. That's the main thing with people like myself, confidence. Make sure you have confidence in what you do. Be confident you can do it, and, just be confident about the results as well. Don't underestimate yourself. That's things that I learned from my family.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I don't really, let's see what else we can kind of touch bases on. So I wanted to ask, I gotta ask this for content, but
Mm-hmm.
so what drove you to give the support that you have been giving to me for all these years? It's how long? It's been like 5 years, right? You've been
Yes.
subscribing, watching. So what drove you to really subscribe to like see my video, be like, I like this guy's like what was it one thing that sparked you about me and my content I post up?
Well, I can see when people are I can see when people like the way they talk, the way they react to people's, comments, like you react to mine on YouTube and Twitch, for instance. The way
Hmm.
I can sense the way that people react to my comments. You see, it's a sort of special power of mine, but I can see, when someone needs that boost, that confidence boost to carry on with their stuff. Like I've been giving you confidence, I've been pushing you with confidence to carry on with your projects for ages, like you've been pushing me with mine.
Hmm.
And I could just tell deep down, you just need someone, that supports you heavily like myself. Like I do it to a lot of other people, even here in the UK as well, at work, at home, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. And it's like this day to 5 years today. I'm just going to keep pushing you and pushing you, and I'm not going to stop my work until you you carry on yourself.
Okay. Well, go ahead.
Like like you said numerous times, you feel like just stopping, yourself, and there's me like, no, you're not. Don't stop yourself, because that's what your brain is telling you to do. Don't listen to it when it's in that mood. Just remember that.
Yeah, he definitely has been saying that, so that's definitely true.
Yeah, don't listen to yourself saying that.
Definitely. But all right, outside of all of this we talked about, outside of this, what's one of your passions? 'Cause I know you told me before you was into like you can computers, right? So you like engineers?
Well, let's say since I was very young, actually about 13 years old, I was very interested in computing myself, because
Hmm.
I used to experiment with computers quite a lot. I still do to this day. It always comes out with good results, even though when I was younger, I used to break computers quite a lot. But I have managed to fix them all the time. Like I've been fixed my own computer a lot to make it more powerful, more graphical, anything. But apart from computing, gaming's another thing. Like I've been gaming since I was 3 years old, since I was born, nearly.
Same for me, yeah.
Yeah, like that's another
Hmm.
similarity between me and you. Gaming
Hmm.
and computing possibly as well. Like your passion is, I know you like the Philadelphia 76ers. Is it?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yep, you're right. Yep.
on the NBA side, like I watch the NBA myself, but I don't really support a team. I just watch it for the fun of it.
Okay.
And yeah, I just hope that your team does well this year. Next year
Well, we
comes.
got a lot of drama, so I don't know, I'm just kind of just watching to see what happens, but I will say, if you have something you're like a team or a person you're passionate about and you like support them, it makes it that much better, especially when it comes to sports. Like you're passionate about like you say you watch it for fun, right? You may
Yeah,
watch your team because you like I like how this team like this I like how the team works. I like how the chemistry is. I'm gonna support them. So I feel like once you get to that point, that's what anybody watching that you watch sports, you support a team is more the passion. You'll feel it more. I really think passion is a power. Because
yeah,
when you're passionate about something, nothing can really stop you. You can just, no matter what somebody says, what somebody do, you like, fuck that, I'm still going to do it. This is something I really want to do. Like, it's something I need this. So,
yeah. Like another passion of mine was I've been watching James Bond since I was young. I don't know if you heard about James.
the James Bond, I know the James Bond.
Yeah, I've been
Yeah.
watching my dad got me into that film series since I was dead young. I've watched the recent one, but I'm not going to be spoiling anything, so I can't say anything, unfortunately. But
Yeah, no, don't
I
do that.
I say just be prepared. That's all. That's all my advice to you regarding that film. If you're going to see it, just be prepared.
I know a James Bond. I couldn't really get into it. I'm more into like what's the guy name, like Jason Statham. He was in a lot of the Fast and Furious
Yeah.
movies. He was in a lot of like I just like his fighting stuff. Like he a bad motherfucker. Like he know how to, his choreography is amazing. But I know he does that in real life too. Like he can fight. So just when I watch him, what else was it? So it's an old Japanese guy.
Jackie
I
Chan.
forgot his name. Him is another one, but it's another one. Like even before Jackie Chan, I forgot his name. It's fuck it. He had a real old school movie back in the day. I used to watch that too. I was into like Kung Fu a little bit. I forgot his name. He was in like this. It was like in the 80s. It's Jackie Chan is if y'all watching this, let me know in the comments. Because I can't. It's on tip of my tongue. I don't know. I forgot his name. Was it Bruce Lee? No, is it Bruce? I don't know. I think it is Bruce Lee. I think it is Bruce Lee. I could be wrong.
The name rings a bell, but I don't think I've watched any of his films.
Yeah,
You know, go on.
He was my father was into him, and then I started watching it. I just how he just moves. It's just but definitely yeah, Jack is. I'm glad I know. I'm glad Jack came into my life. He's been supporting me, and as far as I'm around watching, doing Smooth Nation and everything else. Jack's going to be here. I know he's going to be here. So as I get bigger, hopefully the goal is my goal is right now to get to 1,000 subscribers. I'm at 214 now, but at this rate I'm going to get there sooner rather than later. So
I've said to you, King, just give it time, and you'll be at your target. Just keep pushing for it.
Definitely. So that's definitely the goal. But yeah. So I think that's all I had to say for this one. We talked about a lot of good stuff. Is there anything last that you want to talk about, Jack? While we on?
Nothing apart from thanking everyone for the support that I can see in the comments below me.
Yeah, definitely. I know a lot of people on your side came, and then on my side, my girl did come. She's watching, so shouts out to her. But yeah, this was definitely good. So I'm gonna start doing this maybe once a week, but this first episode I gotta process it and see and edit it and all that other stuff. But yeah, so Jack, thanks for coming by, and
No problem.
I'll probably see you in the game soon. Maybe I'll see you in the game soon. So yeah. Definitely. But all right, guys. And until next time, we're definitely going to be out of here. So make sure you guys follow my page if you can. I just posting content every daily. And yeah, so I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks, Jack. And I'll see you soon, man.